And right. Good evening, everyone. Um, we are Erev Rosh Hashanah, Tafshin Pei Aleph. This uh, this year tonight uh, is dedicated, first of all, for the refuah of our friend Shlomo Moshe ben Perl, who is on a respirator, and it's dedicated to Ilu Nishmas, my father, Oliver Shalom, that today, tonight, and tomorrow is his Yartzeit, Rosh Hashanah. So this is Ilu Nishmas Shmuel Yosef ben Pinchas. So Bezat Hashem, his neshama should have an aliyah, and I just want to say a couple of things about him that I saw in a book that he wrote about his experiences. More, he never spoke about it, but toward the ends of his life, he passed away quite young. He passed away at the age 57. So there are a couple of stories which I think that are notable. First, there's the fact that he was a very can-do kind of guy. He was a go-getter. He was going. He was doing. He was a and he got himself transferred from one work camp to another because his younger brother was in the other camp. That camp, from what I was able to understand, was a munition manufacturing plant, which they used slave workers. And he was there, and his brother was there, and his brother became sick, and they had an infirmary over there. I mean, it was a different kind of work camp. It wasn't Auschwitz. It wasn't, Auschwitz-Birkenau. It wasn't that kind of facility. It was a smaller kind of thing. And so his brother, who was sick, was in this infirmary. And the doctor, one of the doctors, was Jewish. And he said to my father, that there's a medication that he needs. I would assume, I don't know, but I would assume that it's sulfur. But he said that if he had this medicine, he would be able to help his brother, and as well as many other of the people of the patients' infirmaries. So my father, being this stichtiger, this go getter kind of guy, he asked a doctor. He was all of 17, 16. He asked the doctor to write the name of the this medicine, to write it on 8 separate pieces of paper. And he had one guy that had this kind of whatever it is to get over the fence to go to a nearby city, and another guy that had a different kind of connection, and a third. Kitsu, he went and he got 8 guys, who were infiltrating in and out of the camp to get. He figured, one of them was that the Hashem will get it, and actually, I think like 4 or 5 of them brought back the medicine, and he ran to the infirmary. In front of the infirmary, there was this big pit where they threw all the bodies of the guys that passed away. So as he was running towards the infirmary, he saw his brother already in the pit. So uh, it changes a person's point of view. Um, Another story um, is that he was in a camp. He was in a camp that who's this? Oh, from Hill. Yotzeto, great grandfather Rabbi Zachariah Yosef Rosenfeld. Having in Brisk, the 19th century, that's Rabbi St. Louis till 1916. He was Nifta Mincha first Mincha time, first day of Rosh Hashanah. The second story is that he he was a painter. His father was a sign painter, and my father was he had good hands and so the thing is a sign painter in concentration camp and work camp was a very valuable vocation because they needed signs painted all the time. So in the camp, the commandant of the camp, he had this German Shepherd that he used to incite at the inmates, and so he called my father in to paint his home outside the walls of the camp. He was 17 or whatever. So my father, went there. Basically, he went there every day, and he got friendly with the dog. So what they would do is, they would give him the meat from their table, those scraps, to take out to the dog. And on the way from their table to the dog, he would eat the meat. And whatever was left, the bones, whatever it is, he would give to the dog, and the dog kept on shrinking and shrinking and shrinking until the dog died. The commandant shot, he shot the dog, and his wife was shocked. Well, and this wife was a young woman. Her husband was busy all the time, and they're age 17, being an inmate in concentration camp, he was faced with the Nisayon of Yosef Atzadik. And he said to her that there's nothing he can do because he told her that they were putting this additive in their food to subdue their libido so they can work harder or whatever. And this is how he got away from it, as an inmate in concentration camp turning down the wife of the camp's commandant. So everybody has, complaints about my father this, my father that, whatever. So B'ezrat Hashem, the shir tonight should be for his neshama. B'ezrat Hashem, you can't judge anyone. Definitely not somebody who went through the Holocaust. And okay, so obviously this year Rosh Hashanah is unique, to say the least. And the din of being by the tzaddik this year is being kept by us just being here and having kisufim. I got from Reb Hillel this wonderful article by Yaakov Klein from Tzfat, in which he basically he brings a saying that the Reb Chaim Kramer Shlita said that he cannot tell anybody to go to Uman this year. He cannot tell anybody not to go to Uman this year. And he goes ahead and he brings this as whatever it is that you do. He says it's based on Likutei Moharan, and he brings a different Torah of Likutei Moharan. This is the one who could get to it. Obviously, Avinu to come to the Rosh Hashanah. There's all the Torahs about that. The ones they couldn't speak, another Torah. The ones that were in the way, another. The kids, it's based on all, whatever it is that you do, B'ezrat Hashem, as long as you want to be there, and especially this year, then you're there. You're there. You're with Rabbeinu Numan. So let's talk a little bit about a few pertinent inyonim of Rosh Hashanah. What is it about? And what it is that we should put an emphasis on. So, B'chlal, the inyan of Rosh Hashanah is, Rabbeinu says that the inyan of Rosh Hashanah is the reason why people go to tzaddikim is it should be zeichet to something which is called kedushas hamachshava. That the thought process should be clean, because whatever it is that is going to happen in the coming year, everything is happening on Rosh Hashanah on the level of thought. As it says in the Zohar Kodesh, Kulam b'machshava idbariru. Everything is being purified, and the essence of it is being extracted in the level of thought. On the first night of Rosh Hashanah, the first day of Rosh Hashanah, the night and the day, is Dina Kashem. It is a harsh and strong constriction, very strong judgment. The second night is Dina Raphael. It's a lesser, softer kind of a din. It's a softer, less extreme constriction. Nosson explains that at the very beginning of Rosh Hashanah, when Rosh Hashanah comes in, the year has yet to have begun. We are in a state, what is going to be this year? This coming year. What's going to happen? What's not going to happen? Nothing is being differentiated yet. Nothing has been determined yet. It's quite literally a blank slate. It's like an empty page. Take a page. This is how the new year looks as Rosh Hashanah comes in. What is written on this page? You can say, well, nothing. But that's not really true. Actually, on this page, everything's written. But it's undifferentiated. It's not constricted. According to what I'm going to write, the letters I'm going to put on this page, they're done with black. Black is the essence of din. As Nosson says, Rabbeinu says in a few places that in Ilchas Nida, they say that the sight of the color black is Tana because it's actually red that has become black. So black is, a corroded, crusted red. Black is a tzimtzum. Black is a constriction. So when you're writing something on the page, what you're doing is you're actually engaged in an exercise of choosing one possibility out of infinite data that is written on the page, which the blank page contains. When you're putting an aleph, it's already not a shin, not a reish, not a zayin, not a chet, not a chaf, not a samach. It's just an aleph. And then you put in a base afterwards. Okay, that's not a pay, that's not a test, that's not an ayin, that's not a pay. It's a base. And then it's already making the word. It's av. Okay, av. It could be a father, it could be the month, it could be just the beginning of and then you put another aleph afterwards. Now it is strict, it's an aleph, it's not a ches. It is not a tes, it's a vav. It's 3 letters, aleph base aleph. Now you're saying Abba, all right? So even though there could be endless, the page is saying endless things, when you used the constriction, Pinas Din, Pinas Gvuras, and blocked infinity minus one possibility, you're able to express and define the word Abba. Being that we are human beings, we understand through the process of definition, of Hagdarot. Hagdarot definitions mean that you're putting a fence around something, then you can grasp it, you can know it. When something is defined, something is mugdar, it has a gader, it has a fence all around it. So you can say, if you say, I'm in Paris, then you know where I am. If I say I'm in Paris, I'm in New York, I'm in Jerusalem, you don't know where I am because it's not defined enough. You need to define into one possibility. Unless, of course, I tell you, I am in Paris, but my heart is in Jerusalem and I'm thinking about New York. Oh, okay. So now I'm being philosophical. So I can be but it has to be said, it has to be conveyed, right? So the first night of Rosh Hashanah is the blank page. And the Luzer Koenig, the home of Rav and Tzfas, told the son-in-law that the first is Galus and Olam HaTzilus of the time. The first revelation in the world of emanation, it's the highest level there is, it's tzaddik. The tzaddik is the tziner, that's the pipeline, through which the Shefa Eloki comes into the world. So what happens is, the Kodesh Baruch Hu, the new year, whatever it's going to be, is a white page. The Mekubalim calls it Lovin HaElyon, the supernal white, where nothing is differentiated. Everything is one thing. There's no definition. It's not broken down into pieces. So it's unfathomable. You cannot understand it. You cannot grasp it. Now, so the tzaddik who is the one who is in charge, whose mental facility is in charge uh, uh, to start creating the constriction. So it's done barachim. So he said that that's a bechina of Moshe going to the Shemayim, which means that he is going to a bechina of Ein Sof, a bechina of infinity, eternity. It's beyond time, it's beyond place. That's why it's very, very easy to understand why Moshe Rabbeinu did not eat for 40 days or drink for 40 days, because it was beyond time and place. And the tzaddik, which is Moshe Rabbeinu, was able, and is able every year to go up to infinity and to draw from there a beginning of a symptom, a beginning of a grasp, the end of a thread, as it were. Okay? That that is going to be the continuation of the symptom. What happens here is that how much power do you need to hold back a tsunami? What force of a fence do you need to hold back a surging ocean? I read the tsunami, a couple of years ago. It's immense, right? What kind of symptom do you need? What kind of force do you need in order to hold back the infinite? The answer is it's infinite, right? This is why the first day of Rosh Hashanah is Din HaKasha. It's an infinite symptom. The tzaddik is able to go beyond time and place and bring down a beginning of its symptom. Once you have a beginning of, you have the end, the end of the beginning of a thread, then things are much easier. That's the second day of Rosh Hashanah. This is Din Rafia. It's a lighter din. It's still to be shaped. It's still, hypothetical. It's still, there's nothing concrete. In fact, the process of the concretization happens on Yom Kippur. It's a step that takes 10 days. Rosh Hashanah, the 2 days of Rosh Hashanah is Chochmah and Bina, where everything is being prepared to come into actual reality. This is a process that takes place on the level of machshava, the level of thought. You can understand that we are talking here about a surgical procedure that is taking place with everything at stake. Everything is at stake. So, as you understand that in surgery, the environment must be completely clean, completely sterile. There could not be something of any kind of germs or any kind of uncleanliness. The process of Rosh Hashanah is being done by the das of the tzaddik that is totally and completely clean. The reason why we come to him for Rosh Hashanah, why we connect to him for Rosh Hashanah, is that we can also be zeichet to a semblance of Kedushas HaMachshava. We said this concept that it is through our connection to the tzaddik that we get various things that we personally cannot possibly attain. For instance, Kedushas HaBris. We said there's Yichud Eloah, there's Yichud Tata. The Yichud Eloah, only the tzaddik is zeichet about. We are only zeichet to Yichud Tata. We're able, to behave according to Allah. Clean, kedusha, is the tzaddik. But when we are connected, but every person needs to have a Yichud Eloah and Yichud Tata. He needs to have this kind of intimacy with the Kadosh Baruch Hu of Yichud Eloah, Yichud Tata. To understand what does it mean, Yichud Eloah, Yichud Tata. We are all, Baruch Hashem, married men here. There are two kinds of Yichudim. There's Yichud Eloah and Yichud Tata. The Yichud Eloah is infrequent. And it is out of sight. It happens every now and then. It's very, very high. And any kind of blemish, any kind of dirt, any kind of immodesty, any kind of carelessness, injects, filth and tumah into the process. But then there is also Yichud Tatar. There's the lower Yichud. That's the fact that we are married. I mean, we're with our wives, all day long. Okay, we are their husbands all the time. It's a state of a constant Yichud. That's the lower Yichud, Yichud Tatar. So you have the Yichud Tatar is constant. The Yichud Eloah is infrequent. Is every now and then. So the world exists in a state of Yichud Tatar, which means this entire Am Yisrael believes in a Kadosh Baruch Hu. So Am Yisrael is connected to Kadosh Baruch Hu, our wife to our husband. I mean, sometimes, you like your wife, sometimes maybe less, but you always love her. If you don't, you better start, because she knows it. You can't pull anything over her. So the world exists on the fact that Am Yisrael believes in HaKadosh Baruch Hu all the time. That's the Yichud Tatar, which is constant, is tadir. Yichud Eloah is when you get high, when you get, when you the kedusha, you're davening, or when you're doing davar b'kedusha, it's infrequent. That's the Yichud Pnimi. That's the Yichud Eloah. The tzaddik belongs there. We belong in the Yichud, in the lower Yichud. By connecting to the tzaddik, we are getting a semblance of Yichud Eloah also. By the result of our connection to him. The same thing is happening with Kedushas HaMachshava. We are zeichet to our bechina of Kedushas HaMachshava as a benefit of the fact of being connected to the tzaddik, especially in Rosh Hashanah. So there are a couple of things that we need to know, which is very tachlistic. for Rosh Hashanah. First of all, we need to know, as far as we are concerned, I mean, every year we're going for Rosh Hashanah. So what are we doing every Rosh Hashanah? What's involved in that? Why are we doing it every year? The second thing is we need to know a little bit about Kiyas Shefer, just a little bit of what the purpose. And obviously the two are connected. And the third thing is we need to know how to conduct ourselves on Rosh Hashanah so that we gain out of it the most we can. So point number one is what Rabbeinu says in Sichos Haran. He says, in the beginning of the day, every day, he says, especially on Shabbos and Yom Tov, I turn to HaKadosh Baruch Hu and says, Rebbeinu Shalom, I'm giving you over all my actions, all my thoughts, all my speech, of today, me and, my entire family, whoever it is, I'm giving it over to you, everything to you. Let things be the way you want it to be. And Rabbeinu says, and this is very good, because then I don't have to worry. Was I yotze? Was not yotze? I did it, I didn't do it, I thought I did it, I didn't think I'd do it, I slouched off, I was lazy, I did it. You gave it over to HaKadosh Baruch Hu Mechatchila, you have a kusha to the tzaddik, you gave it to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that's the first thing you do. So whatever it is going to happen, it's going to happen the way HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants it to happen. You give it off. That's point number one. Point number two is the fact that by the Olam, the entire Rosh Hashanah is Yemei Din. Rabbeinu said that he is bringing his people in, before HaKadosh Baruch Hu. I apologize for just want to say something needs to be done here because we keep on being distracted. I apologize. So Rabbeinu said that he's bringing his people into the judgment of HaKadosh Baruch Hu in the very, very beginning, the first night. He says at that time, the court is still in a good mood. Not the whole thing with everybody, with a rap sheet, as long as the gullus. Things are still fresh. The judge is in a good mood. Still, so Shoshana is wearing a kittel, because Baruch said the kittel is sitting on kisadim, kisarachim, whatever it is. Okay, everybody comes in. So he says, I'm getting everybody in. So he says, after the tefillah of Mariv, the first Rosh Hashanah, Rabbeinu says we can already go and eat and rejoice. Everything is fine. It's over. You obviously still have to daven all the tefillahs, which we'll talk about that. But nevertheless, you should know that the great benefit of being connected to Rabbi Nachman is the fact that while everybody is in suspense the entire 2 days, and you can already relax after the first Mariv of the first night of Rosh Hashanah. The second thing is, Rabbeinu says that on Rosh Hashanah it's very important to daven with great strength. Put everything you got into the davening. Whatever it is that you can, obviously. The easiest way to do it is you are making a decision ahead of time I'm going to do it. Bezat Hashem. Ask HaKadosh Baruch Hu to help you to come to a decision and to be able to do it. What is do what? The answer is you connect your thought to the words that you're reading, the machzor. That's it. If you are able to really take it upon yourself and do it step by step from the very beginning, and you keep your mind, and you don't slouch off. Whatever it is, your mind strays. Okay, just what did I read? What am I saying? From Adonai, from the very beginning, with the korbanot, everything, the whole thing, word for word. What did I say? Take yourself the time and to say it. If you're able, it's a question of commitment. It cannot be a decision. Because a decision is something, as we said, a decision is something that depends on reasons. Okay, now the reason I'm tired. Okay, so this is off. Honestly, there's all kinds of, when reasons come in, the you're being reasonable. Okay, which means that it's changeable. Depends on the reasons. But when you're committed, being unreasonable is not a good definition. Probably being uh, disreasonable, not unreasonable, but disreasonable. In other words, you're not interested in reasons. You're not doing it because it's a good thing to do, or because it's easier, because it's really going well, whatever it is. You're doing it despite the fact that it's not going well, despite the fact that you're really tired, and you have all the drive to actually put your heart and mind into it, as you have to having another hole in your head or watching pen dry. It's not interesting. You're committed. That's it. But to be committed, you have to daven for it. You have to ask Baruch Hu for it. Rabbeinu says many times it's not possible for somebody to daven the entire tefillah, b'chavana, and it's a long tefillah. So b'vadai, just use your seichel and Sukkot Dezimra, do as much as you can, as much kavanah as you can. Karbanas, do as much as you can. It's very important, especially as much as Vachim. It is a tshuva and takes you to all the places where all the hanky-panky, all the shenanigans, all the various that the person did during his lifetime. But usually you have to go to that place with that woman, whatever it is, do tshuva there. But how will you get there? So as Lachim, so it's all the korbanos for all the averes. So this goes to that place where you were and did whatever it is you did, and brings the tikkun over there. It's very, 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 very great and very important. It's unbelievable. And all the rest of them. At the very least, when you get to Shemona Esrei, slow down and put whatever you got into every single word. Take a look at the word Baruch. Just say Baruch. If Hebrew is not your native tongue, think, what does the word mean? And then you say it. And put your oomph into it. On Rosh Hashanah, all year long you can do that, but specifically on Rosh Hashanah, it says, let yourself hear as you whisper the words that you're saying. You should hear them. Listen to what you're saying. Don't just run. Usually during the year, they said there's an argument between the Kabbalah and those that al Pinigla, they said you shouldn't hear it, should hear it, whatever it is. La aloch, passing is yelling around everybody down from the machzor. Definitely should hear what it is that you're saying. So, whatever it is that you can do, because, with great force, this is what you should do. That's point number two. That's Lamaisli. The third thing that you need to do, being that Rosh Hashanah, everything is happening on the thought level. Rabbeinu says, a person will learn the Sichos Aran. We learned this. A person needs to be very particular to think only good thoughts in Rosh Hashanah. It's going to be great. It's going to be a great year. It's going to be a great year. So what do I do when a stray thought comes? You just push it aside. That's it. When he says you're not responsible to any machshava that creeps into your head by itself. Don't worry about it. Just don't let it stay in. The machshava comes in, out. But what happens if it comes in again? So out again. Yeah, but it's more powerful than I am. No, it's not. So a very good answer is have a reserved thought, something to think about. When a thought that comes into your head, I'm worried about this, I'm worried about that, what it's going to be about this, what's going to be about that, just take that thought out of your bag, that reserved thought, the subject to think about, and put it right in. Rabbeinu said it's not possible to have two thoughts in the head at the same time. So think about the fact that you're connected to Rabbeinu, think about Rabbeinu, think about Kil Shefet, whatever it is you want to think about, prepare these things in advance. It doesn't catch you, barehanded, as it were. Just pay attention to what you're thinking. Something comes in, it's going to be great. It's going to be great. Say it with your mouth, it's going to be great. And think good thoughts. Be the simcha and think good thoughts. It's very, very important. That's the third Indian to do on Rosh Hashanah. So we have giving it over to Kodesh Baruch Hu. We had Kedushas HaMachshava. We had Davening B'Koyach, right? And the fourth thing is Rabbeinu said that it is very good to speak, idle speech very sparingly in Rosh Hashanah. B'chlal. It's a good habit, especially for the first day. If you can, for the 2 days, b'vakasha. For the first day, first 24 hours until the second day comes, you're not speaking any other diburim except dibur Torah and tefillah. That's it. Sort of a tiniest dibur. In other words, Rosh Hashanah. Don't say any unnecessary words. The entire Rosh Hashanah, especially the first day. Okay? Now, the Ina of Rosh Hashanah in Tkiyas Shofar, we have the process of Rosh Hashanah, Adam Rishon, where Adam and Chava are one thing, male and female together. You have to excuse me if we're going a little bit over time today, but we won't get another chance to have a Rosh Hashanah shmooze before this Rosh Hashanah other than tonight, so bear with me. If you need to get off, then it's fine, of course. The process is, in all the ascension of the worlds, The very beginning is always back to back. It's called achor be'achor. V'elokim es ha'adam, zachar u'nekeva bara oto. Hashem created men, singular. Male and female, he created them. So make up your mind. What is it? Is it men or male and female created them? Plural. Later on, he says that Hashem put slumber, sleep on Adam, and he made a surgery and cut off, the in half, the male and the female. Until then, they were back to back. So the action of the surgery is called nesira, sewing. Sira. And from the situation of a back-to-back, after the nesira, they turn around to become panim panim, face to face. The next thing that happens is yichud. The two get together. Notice, they started together. They were separated, turned, then they came back together again. Then we had a state of pregnancy, ibur. Then you have, obviously birth, yinika. Then you have moichin, grown up. These stages go from every madrega. Whenever you start a new job, before you even heard about it, and it's going to be your next job, but you were back to back with it. You didn't even know it existed. Okay? That happened to Sarah. You stopped your old job. They needed somebody to come to fill in. That's the act of the Nasira. Then you came to an interview. That's panim upon them. And they hired you. Okay? And the first thing now happens is an ibor. Yeah? Ibor means you're learning your job. Things are not going that easy. The first week, wow. Like the famous joke that a person got married and his friend asks him, how is your wife? Like a couple of days after marriage, he says she's an angel. So the other guy says, mine is not a human being either. So when you first get yourself a new job, so the first time is like, it's amazing how everybody's, is unbelievable. And they're such great people. And they're so nice to me. And they're so welcoming to me. Okay, so that's the action of yichud. But then, you find out that this one is leaving his food in the refrigerator, and it starts growing hairs and moving independently from one side of the fridge to the other side of the fridge to where your stuff is. And this one is irritating in this way or in that way, whatever it is, it's a, so the first stage is everybody's an angel. The second stage is as nishkamen shoichet, is not a human being. Okay, I can't believe, a company of monsters there are. And the third stage, is where you get used to it. You say, okay, the people like I am, everybody's being about whatever it is they have. So Rosh Hashanah also starts with the same process of Adam v'Chava, you and the year, you and whatever is going to come to you during this year. Abchinas ocha ba'ocha, you're one thing. So you need to go into a state of sleep, of slumber. So the Kabbalah says that this is the inyan of Rosh Hashanah, that is called the sleep of the dormita. This is their Anpin is asleep. This is the process of the Nasir that, takes place. And then this Kiss Shofar. Kiss Shofar is to wake you up. Post surgery, it's time to wake up. This is Kiss Shofar. Kiss Shofar is for us to wake up. The purpose of Rosh Hashanah is that we start again. It's a birthing process. The shofar of Rosh Hashanah is supposed to bring into our hearts the realization, whoa, I need, to up my game. I need to start again. I really need to start again. I have to start again. What happens is, Rabbeinu says that people lose things all the time. Whenever it is that I do something that I should not be doing, I'm losing something. Because I'm getting divine energy into me all the time. And we are all basically angels' machines. Koloseh mitzvah is creating a samegra, right? It's creating an advocate. What is an advocate? What is this? You got raw, godly energy. And with the quality of your decision, you did a mitzvah, you created an angel that will melamed zchut on you. If chas v'chalila somebody does verkehrt, he's creating a verteger, right? He's creating a prosecutor. So what we are is we are an angel machine all the time. So whenever it is that during the year that any kind of what have I done with my time? What am I doing with my day? What am I doing with my life? Well, there are certain moments that I'm doing good things. So I'm going to daven, I'm going to learn, I'm going to this, I'm going to that, give some stock, I'm being nice to my wife. But in between, besides the fact that I'm really oblivious to what is going on with me, okay, I know what I know, but it's just the tip of the iceberg of what's really going on with me. We spoke about it in playing. I also do things that create some shady characters. I got godly energy. It was melubash in the food that I ate, in the air that I breathe, the neshama that I get every morning. And I went ahead and what happened is I lost. It's an aveda. It's a lost. It's a lost and found, So it's avedot. And we have like gazillions of avedot, of things that we lost, of opportunities that we missed, of nitetzei kedusha that we have discarded in places that we don't even know where they are. The work of the tzaddikim is to collect all the avedot. That's what they do. The same Zohar talks about it as malachim that blow shofars and look for avedot. This is what they need to do. The tzaddikim are collecting all the avedot. You come to the tzaddik on Rosh Hashanah for the tzaddik to give you back all the stuff that you lost. All those mitzvot kedusha that you have dispersed all over the place. By not being careful enough, by things catching you by surprise, by not trying hard enough, by not caring. Whatever it is that everybody's going. I mean, we're going to Yom Kippur not because, we went, through a red light once a year, so we have something to do tshuva on. That's a little more serious than that. So Rabbeinu says, but the tzaddik is before you're given a Veda, the tzaddik has to check you out. Shema, to make sure she'eino ramai, that he's not a cheater. What does it mean? It means you come to the tzaddik with the level of emes, of truth, that you are able to purify, to ascertain during that year. And every year you come with a kli, with a vessel of cleaner emes. If you tried, yeah, if you're interested in it, you came with a kli that is interested. So you came with a cleaner emes. According to the emet that you have achieved during the year, this is the kind of avedot that tzaddik returns to you on Rosh Hashanah. So now you understand why it's a yearly process. You come again and again and again. Because every year you work on yourself. And the Kodesh Baruch Hu is putting you through different experiences. And you are able to refine your level of emet. So when you come to Hashanah, you get the avedot, new avedot that commensurate באופן יחסי to the level that you have achieved. So it says, even such people that during the entire year the tzaddik himself could not fix, they come to him and connect to him on Rosh Hashanah. He can fix them as well. In conclusion, let me tell you this. We are extremely, extremely fortunate. It cannot be believed. You know the Ashreinu? Ashreinu. That. We're extremely fortunate to be close to this tzaddik. As we said, the entire Bechira in this generation is only whether you come close to Rabbi Nachman and you believe in his Kedusha and his Koyach or not. That's it. Because about Moshe Rabbeinu there's no Bechira anymore. You're Jew, you're from. That's it. It's over. About Reb Shimon Bar Yochai, there's no Bechira anymore. Barur, finished. Because it's not applicable, it's something to gear to you right now. Baal Shem Tov, you're talking about Baal Shem Tov, Or Shivat Hayamim, what was about it? Listen, the Baal Tanya, the Rebbe Melech, they're all tzaddikim, no problem. When it comes to Rabbeinu, you have to go to Uman, and this and that, and why do you have to say all these things about him? Because this is where the Bechira is Ashreinu. Even if it doesn't shine to me, because, in the bathroom of my mind, the light doesn't shine. No, what can I do? Shote and no margish, a fool doesn't feel. That's okay. We're connected, Baruch Hashem, to Rabbeinu. Whether you're in Oman, the Vadai, whether you're in Israel, the Vadai, whether you're in Gomel, in Belarus, the Vadai, wherever it is that you are, as long as you long to be by the tzaddik, you are by the tzaddik. You are in Oman. We are in good hands. B'ezrat Hashem, I want to wish each and everybody, let me just unmute everybody. So if you want to unmute yourself and say something, you're welcome. I want to wish everybody Shana Tova and Ktiva v'Chatima Tova, and B'ezrat Hashem, next time we're going to meet in Hashem is going to be Monday night. It's Motzei Tzom Gedalia, where we're going to learn Tzipor Masliot, should be Mishra L'Kfei Lachem Rosh Hashanah. בשמחה עצומה, עצומה, עצומה. So again, this year was for the fourth Shlomo Moshe ben Pearl, our friend, who's in the hospital, respirator, and the Ilui Nishmas, my father, Lashalom Shmuel Yosef ben Pinchas, the Noyer Rabbi, that I got the Emunah from him. And as I said, all the very best. Anyone wishes to say anything, you're welcome.
Oh, so
What?
Moshe Singer. So he's just on respirator, or his condition, or
He is in serious but stable condition. Yeah.
you full complete your first Shlomo.
Amen. 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 Amen.
This is Moshe Singer that you're referring to?
Yes. Shlomo Singer.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Wow. Wow. Anyway, listen, we all are grateful to you for everything that you have brought to us in the past year, for helping us to connect to Rabbeinu and his teachings, and to look forward to
You gave me
learning and internalizing it in the coming year and years beyond.
Amen. I mean, it's. I'm the one who is indebted to you because you gave me the opportunity to do this, and without you, there's no shir. There's only I'll be flapping my lips all by myself looking at the computer.
Yeah. Yeah. Baruch Hashem.
Okay. Shana Tova, K'tiyah v'chatima Tova.
Hashem
See
Tova.
you on Monday.
See you Monday. Okay. Bye.
Take
So,
And a good
תודה
Shabbat.
טובה, thank you.
Amen.
תודה רבה, תודה.
כל טוב, בהצלחה רבה.
כל טוב.
ברוך השם. I'm speaking because Omer Schneider is not a native English speaker, so I'm speaking English with nekudot, easy. That's Call to
Rav Grumman, that's an improvement in his condition.
There is. Baruch Hashem. I spoke to his wife today. She told me that he's stable, and it's as long as and this is good.
Is he still sedated?
Of course, of course.
Yeah, if you're on a ventilator, you have to be sedated.
Yeah, he has to be sedated. There's no, otherwise it'll be too much discomfort, too much pain. He won't be able to breathe.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is Moshe Singer, who's
Shlomo Singer.
from England.
No.
Oh, different Moshe Singer.
That's the guy that was sitting by the table, was eating the popcorn, right facing me.
Oh, okay. It's a different Moshe Singer. Okay.
It's not. No, it's Shlomo Singer.
Shlomo Singer.
His second name is Moshe, but it's Shlomo Singer.
I see.
What does he have? Why is he hospitalized?
There's Corona.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
He's a young guy. He's like 40.
Yeah.
It doesn't discriminate against age.
Yeah, it's an equal opportunity disease.
Oh.
Black Lives Matters.
The